joining us. I'm Mitchell Ringos. The transport crash on Dawson Road this morning was close to disaster as a vehicle ended up in a residential backyard just 8 feet away from crashing into a house. The incident happened at 10:15 this morning in the area between Hilldale Road and East Avenue, where a two-vehicle collision between a transport and SUV caused the transport to tip over and land in a residential backyard just feet away from disaster. Thunder Bay police say only minor injuries were sustained from the accident, and the road was first closed this afternoon while they tried to remove the vehicle, and as of now there is no word as to when it will reopen. Thunder Bay City Council has a major item on the agenda Monday night as they'll hear a deputation regarding future plans for the indoor turf facility. It'll be presented by Soccer Northwest, who will provide an alternative for the facility. They're recommending a hangar-style building next to the community auditorium. The group is confident that such a facility could be delivered for under $20 million, less than half of the Chapels Park proposal. Soccer Northwest is also organizing a rally for their proposal in front of City Hall at 5:30 before the council meeting. Recently at Queen's Park, NDP Deputy Leader and critic for Indigenous and Treaty Relations Saul Mamakwa challenged the Ford government on Bill 23, the More Homes Built Faster Act, saying they do not support Indigenous rights. Responding to Mamakwa was MPP for Thunder Bay Atikokan and Parliamentary Assistant for the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing Kevin Holland, saying he sees this bill as an opportunity.
The failure to engage in dialogue with the rights holders about the duty to consult and accommodate makes Bill 23 unlawful at worst and undemocratic at best. Why doesn't this government just say that their housing plan is more important than upholding Indigenous rights?
We have a pressing and substantial challenge that we're turning into an opportunity, Mr. Speaker, and that is to build 1.5 million homes over the next 10 years. We know, Mr. Speaker, that across this province, housing shortages are real. They're real for families living in municipalities, in big cities, and in Indigenous communities, Mr. Speaker. That's why we will move ahead with a balanced approach to build 1.5 million homes in 10 years, to work with our Indigenous communities and their leadership to ensure the housing opportunities are there for them as well, Mr. Speaker. That's what we're hearing from them, and that's what we intend to pursue. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The future of Greenstone will be determined by its current council. For the first time in 21 years since Greenstone was created, the town has an official plan. The document needed to inform land use and development. That process will be led by newly acclaimed Mayor James McPherson, who was sworn in on Monday.
We finally got our official plan approved after 20 years. So now we can do our zoning bylaw. Now we can have parking bylaws. And we can start putting the process in place that every other city and community takes for granted. We don't have that. And then we have to start with where do we want to go, which means our new strategic plan. And from the strategic plan, we can work forward.
The official plan was approved by the province in November and will guide town planning for up to 25 years. Meanwhile, McPherson says Greenstone's landfills are getting full and that work is ongoing to develop a new waste management process and that a number of other infrastructure announcements are coming down the pipes, but his number one priority over the next 4 years will be to conduct a service review.
28 different services across really 5 municipalities, 2 wards. Things are still unique to the original communities, and we need to become Greenstone and everything equitable in Greenstone, not the same, but equitable. And so we have to go through that review to see where we are.
McPherson says that while it may not be possible to have equal service across all 3,000 square kilometers of the municipality, that equitable services should be available in each of the communities that make up Greenstone. Anishinaabe Aski Nation recently held an open house for their new headquarters in Thunder Bay. Officials say the building, which houses offices for NAN staff and elected officials, is the first owned by the political organization in its nearly 50-year history. Leigh Nunan was there.
The 5-story building looks out over Thunder Bay with a view of City Hall from the desk of Grand Chief Derek Fox. With a mandate to improve the lives of its citizens wherever they live, Fox and Deputy Grand Chief Bobby Narcisse each emphasized the importance the city has for Nan.
We had students here this morning, and they're talking about lives that they're going to form here. You know, buying homes, becoming doctors and lawyers and pilots. And Thunder Bay is the place they're going to do it.
As you know, like our First Nation groups and our tribal councils, our students, many of our organizations also call Thunder Bay home as well, that contribute to the economic fabric of Thunder Bay as well. And it's those relationships and those positive relationships that we really want to also encourage and evolve as well as we move ahead.
Both Fox and Narcisse say relationships with hub cities like Thunder Bay are crucial for Nan. And that's reciprocal, according to Minister of Indigenous Services, Patty Haidu, who calls Nan an important voice not only in the city, but at all political levels.
To have a partner like Anishinaabe Nation who is firmly here, entrenched in the city, supporting the region, making sure that Indigenous people and non-Indigenous people can grow together, the prosperity of our region is critically important to the future of Northwestern Ontario.
For Fox, Thunder Bay is home, and he doesn't like the bad rap that the city has. He believes that cities like Thunder Bay will play an important part in improving the lives of Nan people, particularly youth.
You know, we really want to ensure that those bridges and those relationships are strong for the sake of our people, but also for the sake of people of Thunder Bay, to ensure that we all play a part in building a better city.
Fox says he's looking forward to working with Thunder Bay's new mayor and council right next door, and hopes that this can be the beginning of moving forwards together. Leigh Nunan, TBT News.
The Salvation Army, in partnership with the Lakehead Rotary Club, hosted their 28th annual community Christmas dinner this afternoon. Dozens of volunteers from both organizations came out to serve a turkey dinner and the fixings to an expected 300 people. The free meal was offered to anyone who wanted to share at Christmas dinner with others, either because they were lonely or weren't otherwise able to have a Christmas dinner. This was the first time they've been able to host the dinner in person at the new facility, and Lakehead Rotary Club President Alan Kozlow talks about the importance of the event.
We know full well there's so many people in our community that are in need on an ongoing basis. This is an excellent opportunity to bring people together for the holiday season, you know, a nice Christmas dinner and just having people together. It was tough over the last few years with the pandemic, and every opportunity that we have to get the community together in these these meals, it's a great opportunity.
Because Christmas time is a time that many people are lonely. There's much need in our community. We've seen the need rise, and it's our part that we're contributing to those people. So we're asking people to come out, enjoy some fellowship, camaraderie, and have a great Christmas dinner.
Ferguson adds that any residents who are interested in helping out with their annual Kettle Drive can contact the Salvation Army Journey to Life Center. Thunder Bay was glowing with holiday cheer last night thanks to the annual Parade of Lights, which saw a variety of colorful floats and fan-favorite characters for everyone to enjoy. Jessica Clement was on site to get a glimpse of the bright lights with the rest of the city.
The inner city area was lit up by thousands of lights and Christmas decorations that could brighten the spirits of any Grinch or Scrooge. And this year's parade went off without a hitch, much to the delight of the hundreds of people lining the streets. Roughly 140 vehicles made their way through the parade route, which started at Manitoulin Transport on Main Street and went over the bridge to Memorial Avenue. The vehicles then went down Memorial and finished on Fort William Road, where they featured a century section with no honking or music. There was much to love about the parade, and we asked some attendees about their favorite part.
The lights. I really like the lights, but I hope they throw candy canes like they did last year.
Just for the opening to see everyone line up and have all the lights and that.
I love all the lights and the trucks and vehicles. They're all very pretty. But I'm sad that the Grinch now is in jail because it was fun to watch him go around in his little car.
This year, the parade is in support of Autism Ontario, Special Olympics Ontario, Therapy Riding Association, and George Jeffrey Children's Centre, and volunteers walked along the parade route to collect donations. Parade organizer Stephenson talks about the impact the parade has on the community.
Well, I mean, it's important for the four charities. It helps with their operating budgets for the whole year, and this is something that people look forward to. It's kind of like a kickoff for this Christmas season, and we're very happy to be able to provide it for them.
For anyone who would still like to donate and help the four charities now that the parade is wrapped up, you can visit the parade's Facebook page for more information. Jessica Clement, TBT News.